Keep on the fire burning to rehabilitate the offenders, so as to come out of this place well rehabilitated. Well done, well done.
Siyalibonga,
siyalibonga, sibabaza njalo imisebenzi yenu.
Siyabonga,
lisibonisa amathalenta ethu, lithuthukisa amathalenta ethu.
abadala bathi mfana,
Isikokwe somileyo ngasikokwe kodwa lina
iyasigoqa
makuhlale kunjalo kunjalo njalo.
bathina abadala fana kithi.
Isikokwe somileyo ngasikokwe kodwa lina
iyasigoqa
makuhlale kunjalo kunjalo njalo.
uma thina-ke
Siphuma kwindawo sesingabantu abasha, sesiguqula imikondo, sesilahla imikhuba emibi, sesithabatha imikhuba emibi, sesibuyela kuZulu emphakathi.
namhlanje sithi khetha ndoda,
Khethu khethile
wena
wafuna wezempilo, khethu khethile
wena
wawuthandayo,
awukhetha mdala,
khethu khethile
wena
wafuna wezempilo, khethu khethile wawuthandayo,
awukhetha mama,
khethu khethile wafuna wezempilo, khethu khethile wawuthandayo, khethu khethile wafuna wezempilo, khethu khethile wawuthandayo. Uqala sithanda kulibuza injani impilo hlobo sethu. Uqala sithanda kulibuza injani impilo hlobo sethu.
sekutanga
Tota kuti moro
kurise
upenyu wamazethu.
au sekutanga
Tota kuti moro.
au kurise. Well done.
Keep on the fire burning to rehabilitate the offenders, so as to come out of this place well rehabilitated. Well done, well done.
Siyalibonga,
Siyalibonga, sibabaza njalo imisebenzi yenu.
siyabonga,
Lisibonisa amathalenta ethu, lithuthukisa amathalenta ethu.
abadala bathi mfana,
Isikokwe somileyo ngasikokwe kodwa lina
iyasigoqa
makuhlale kunjalo kunjalo njalo.
bathina abadala fana kithi.
Isikokwe somileyo ngasikokwe kodwa lina
iyasigoqa
Well, the partnership with the ILO started in 2019 when they engaged the city of Bulawayo with a view to partnering the city with a view to improving the workspaces for our informal sector. The whole aim was to ensure transition from informality to formality, with a view of improving the working conditions of our informal sector, which also was going to enhance business development from the informal sector. So what then followed was that the ILO engaged a consultant which looked at the issues relating to informal sector activity in the city, to do a needs assessment, also to understand the operational modalities and how the city is engaging the informal sector, including vendors in the city, with a view of making recommendations on how the sector could be improved going forward. To that end, the consultant did the study, and we had a workshop at Vic Falls where presentations were made in terms of the needs assessment, the findings, and the recommendations. What was flagged in that needs assessment was that indeed the city had the structures of dealing with the informal sector, and they were already engaging. However, there were areas that needed to be improved so that this transition could be enhanced. So part of the recommendations were that the city council, which is BCC, needs to properly institutionalize its structures that will deal with the informal sector. And to that end, fortunately, the city was restructuring. We then formed a new department called the Town Planning, Estate Management and Evaluation, where the issues relating to the informal sector were relocated to. So it gave us an opportunity to put a section in that new structure that will focus entirely on the informal sector. So as I'm talking, we now have a new department which houses the informal sector, among other areas of responsibility that it is involved in. So also this study indicated that there is need for capacitation of the section dealing with the informal sector. So that capacitation is in the form of training of the staff that is involved in the informal sector, that section also needs exposure in terms of understanding how other cities are dealing with the informal sector so that they can learn from the best and avoid some pitfalls. Also, what came out there was that there is need for business development in the informal sector. To ensure that happens, there was some training that was also done to identify the staff as well as the members from the informal sector. There was some business development training in Gweru, which also trained trainers so that they could capacitate each other as well. So this training also involved the entrepreneurial skills and the general understanding on how businesses operate to ensure that those that are in the informal sector and they need to transition to formality understand the business fundamentals that are required to run a successful business. There are also issues relating to regulations. So the training also ensured that the informal sector is capacitated in terms of knowing council rules and regulations affecting the sector. The issues relating to registration, the need for them to pay the rentals and the licensing fees. It also covered issues to do with the need to communicate with the local authority so that there is a flow of information from both sides. What also came out from this needs assessment was that the informal sector should also be capacitated to ensure self-policing, self-regulation. To that end, the city interacts with the informal traders on a month-on-month basis. We've got scheduled monthly meetings where we discuss the issues relating to the industry and how the industry can be improved. It also improves the information lines. At this stage, we want to go into MOUs with the informal sector so that the responsibilities and the obligation of parties can be spelled out to smoothen the relationships. The other area of focus in terms of ensuring transition to formality deals with the need to provide the enabling infrastructure. To that end, there's a project that was identified at OKMAT, which served as a pilot project where ILO partnered with the SMEs, City Council, and NAST to redesign the working spaces that were there, ensure that the environment is improved, is safe, complies with the health safety regulations and requirements, and the NAST university provided somebody who did the designs that were subsequently approved, and the remodeling of the facility was then done as per those designs. So for now, work has been done, is at a very advanced stage, to an extent that the SMEs are operating now in that renovated infrastructure, although the works are still ongoing. So as a pilot project, we now have a product of this relationship, this engagement, that has achieved the objective of the partnership. In terms of attention to infrastructure, the works are still ongoing as the other partners are being identified to attend to some areas that also need the refurbishment and new construction, with the sole aim of ensuring that the SMEs operate in decent, healthy, good working environment. So we've got projects that are already lined up that aim at improving the support infrastructure for the informal sector, touching on the building, housing the SMEs, the support facilities that are required, the kitchen, the ablution facilities, the workspaces, the requisite services that are needed to support that. So we've got a number of project areas that have been identified, and engagements are ongoing to ensure that those facilities are built to enhance the working conditions of the informal traders. In a mouthful, this is what has been done through this partnership engagement, and in terms of where we are going, this is where we are. Yes, we do have a database, but unfortunately for that information, I will refer you to another office. Like I said, there is an office that was created, but the OK Mart facility houses should be 58 SMEs. So in terms of the data that we have in the city, all licensed vendors, for instance, we have the database on the licensed vendors. We may not have a database on unlicensed vendors because they change every day in terms of their numbers, where they are operating from. We also have our partners who are self-registering. So we've got associations that also have database. I'm sure before you leave, you should be able to speak to some of these people. They have the database of their members who are operating from various centers. What we've done is to set a model, to set standards of an ideal working environment, with the aim that the project can be duplicated to other areas or even improved. For now, it's a starting point. But the reason why we embarked on it is because we are saying these SMEs, the informal sector, should work from decent spaces that comply with the city bylaws. The informal sector should be engaged and assisted to develop business-wise, marketing-wise, compliance-wise, and if possible, once they've been formalized, as a city, we should also be able to link them to markets. We are already doing that to a certain extent, because we have sent some of the informal sector to, for instance, Durban Fair, those that are into clothing manufacturing, into artwork and so forth. So we have done a little bit, but we believe if we formalize the workspaces, then they can grow, and they link also to formal markets to improve also the quality of their products, so that the products are competitive. I think the engagement that we are doing as a city with the informal sector is for them to appreciate the need for registration, so that they are counted in the GDP of the country overall. So some of these issues of registration and the attendant fees are unavoidable, but what can be negotiated is the quantum of, for instance, the rentals. The rentals, they engage council. If they feel the rentals are too high, we are a listening council. We have previously reduced the rentals. So their licensing fees also, they are within the control of council. These can be negotiated to levels that are fair. The council has got no control of other fees that are coming externally. For instance, I understand they are to pay presumptive taxes. So the association of vendors, perhaps even council, can negotiate with the relevant authorities to strike a balance on the quantum of the license fees. So because we are talking to each other, it is feasible that we can strike an agreement on the fee structure, so that it's a win-win for everyone. One license, and then they've got monthly rentals that they pay.
Directly, especially for the Bulawayo SME Center, we have 78 direct entrepreneurs or SMEs who are based there. But those SMEs, they are actually employing more than 100 young people who are also directly benefiting from the intervention that we have done. But apart from them, from those who are at Bulawayo SME Center, we have also trained trainers from different institutions as part of institutional strengthening, like Talk of Your Own, which called Bulawayo City Council. and we are looking at more than 50 members of different institutions that we have trained on business development services. Then we have also done a training called Start Your Business for more than 200 young people also here in Bulawayo. So I'm looking at over and above 1,000 young people that have directly benefited from this program.
What do you intend to achieve? Why are you doing it?
What we want to do, especially in the informal economy, is to promote the formalization of the informal economy. When you talk about the formalization of the informal economy, it comes with different facets. Number one, there is the improvement of workspaces. Like for example, this one you have just seen, Employee SME Center, where we want to address decent work deficits, which when you talk about decent work deficits, I think a number of partners have talked about issues of lack of abolition facilities. And so what we are trying to do is to put decency in the informal economy. We are trying to look at a picture where informal economy workers, they also have rights. When you talk about decent work, informal economy workers, we have to promote their livelihoods. So by and large, we are also looking at how best can we promote productivity. How can they have also profit that they can be able to sustain their families? So in a bigger picture, we are trying to promote decent work.
Is this only in Bulawayo or is it in other towns? If not, is it going to expand to other cities and towns?
For this specific project on promoting better workspace for informal economy workers, we have used this Bulawayo SME Center as a model or as an example, which that's why we're working with different partners like Bulawayo City Council, like Old Muchko. Our drive is for them to scale, and already they have started replicating this same model in different locations. Talk with Kulumani with Old Muchko, they want to replicate this model because they have huge spaces that informal economy workers, they cannot afford to pay rent house. So they also want to use this model. Bulawayo City Council already, there are plans to actually replicate this model to their food markets. So already we are talking of replication because with ILO only, we might not have enough resources to cater for all the city within the city and around other places in the country. So this is the model. So it's a model that we are planning. We visualize that they can replicate. But apart from this program that we are doing, remember we also have the Green Enterprise program in different spaces in the country, which also benefit a number of young people. We have also another program we call E4Way, employment for women and men in different spaces of the country, which is also benefiting a number of young people. So by and large, yes, there's a presence here, but around the country we have different programs that are running.
My friend, so when are you going to consume my money? No, I'm coming to Harare for this. I'm coming to Harare, I'm getting charged. Good morning. Yes, I'll eat this one.